Can you guess what Marvel Rivals' most populated rank is? Well, if you take out Bronze, which mostly includes those that play Quick Play or haven't even played a game of Ranked, the number one most popular rank right now is Grandmaster 3. And yeah, this is a big problem. I'll explain why this is a big deal for Marvel Rivals Ranked in just a minute, but first, let's delve into what this data actually is and whether it's accurate. Because when I saw the stats myself, I was just as surprised and I was wondering if it's really true. This chart is from Rivals Tracker, and it says 27,212 players are currently in Grandmaster 3, more than any other rank in Marvel Rivals. Besides Bronze, of course. Now, when I saw this data, I had to check for myself to see if it was even real. I did contact the owner of the website to see how they gathered the data, but whilst waiting for a reply, I did a bit of an experiment for myself. I ranked up on a second account to see what the in-game data says, to see if it matches up with what the website says, and if it does, then we can know the data on the website is accurate. From Silver 1 to Platinum 2, the stats I got in-game very closely matched up with the tracker stats, so whatever method they're using to gather stats, it really does seem to be quite accurate. So what's the problem with this? Is it a big issue that everyone is chilling out in Grandmaster now? Well, let's take a look at other rank distribution curves to explain the problem a little better. This is what League of Legends rank distribution looks like, and this is a Valorant rank distribution, and this is what an Overwatch ranked curve looks like from Season 12. What you'll notice is the majority of players are usually in the middle three ranks. A good distribution curve should closely follow the overall skill range of the player base, meaning that the better you are, the more likely you are able to reach higher ranks. And if you're kind of just average, you'll probably get stuck somewhere along the middle ranks. You need to improve as a player in these games and actually genuinely get better skills at the game to rank up. What that does is it allows every rank to create a fair skill rating experience, so every game feels balanced, fun, and you feel like you have a chance to really learn. But Marvel Rivals has nothing like that. In fact, the skill distribution for Marvel Rivals looks very different to the other games. Even if we remove Bronze from the equation, because let's be honest, the 21% of players in Bronze 3 are probably those that just don't play Ranked. Well, without Bronze, the results really look a lot different to the other Ranked games out there. And if we stack the divisions together so we can compare it to the other chart, this is what it looks like. Whilst all of the other games I've talked about so far have a pretty natural looking skill curve, with the majority of the players being at the lower ranks and that having a gradual decline as the ranks go on, Marvel Rivals looks more like someone jumping off the edge of a cliff, with it being very flatline and then suddenly dropping down as soon as you get to Celestial ranks, which is, interestingly enough, when the majority of players will start to see them lose more points than they win. So we can start to see what the issue may be here. And with a number of Eternity players rising day after day, it looks like the longer the rank season goes on, the more and more players will just naturally rise up and up the ranks. So why is this a problem? What's causing this to happen, and how could the developers fix it? Well, the main problem with this is it creates for a really unhealthy, frustrating game experience, and it just ruins the fun for pretty much everyone. What I mean by that is players can easily rank up just by putting in more hours. Even if you have a less than 50% win rate, you can easily climb to Grandmaster, which is one of the highest ranks in the game right now. A lot of players consider their rank to symbolize their skill in video games. If you're a high-ranking player in League, Valorant, or Overwatch, you've earned it, and I'm probably going to listen to what you have to say about the game, right? But people are getting into Grandmaster so easily, believing that they're good at the game, because if they did the same thing in another video game, then yeah, they would be skilled. In this case, that rank gives them the false idea that they're a very skilled player. They understand the way that they've played to get to Grandmaster must mean that they're doing something right and their ability as a player must be good. So they reinforce the idea that whatever actions they're taking in the game are the right, most efficient ways to play the game. The trouble is, there could be a million different ways to play the game and you'd still get to Grandmaster. So using your support ult in wrong moments or just having bad positioning are things that would mean you wouldn't rank up in a normal system, but with Marvel Rivals, you'll still rank up. So by the time everyone's in Grandmaster, you have a very varied skill experience. People think they know that they're doing the right thing, when most of the time they probably aren't, which creates frustration between teammates. People get mad at each other. They all think that they're doing the right thing, but nobody really truly knows what the true best way to play is, or the right meta, because it doesn't matter. You're going to get to the highest ranks anyway. The end result is you have people who are new to hero shooters playing alongside people who have been playing them for years. And whilst your teammates could have a very strong understanding of fundamentals, there also is a chance that those same teammates could be really inexperienced and have just lucked their way up into the higher ranks because the game just let them do it. So overall, everyone's getting frustrated at each other. Everyone has a belief that they're playing the right way, when perhaps there are better ways to do it. And there isn't a defined meta or skill curve involved in the game when it comes to sort of becoming better, more apparent. And that just makes it a frustrating experience for everybody. And the end result is, I think the meta is kind of a mess because of it. Characters like Spider-Man and Black Panther are just demolishing most games because people don't know how to respond or react. People aren't even counter-picking or counter-swapping heroes depending on what the enemy team is doing. There are so many cases where things just aren't going well and people are getting demolished by cheesy strategies and characters that probably have quite an easy counter, but the majority of players in Grandmaster haven't realized that yet. I think the game would be a lot more enjoyable if the rank that you were in was based on your actual skill, like other ranked games. And I can't say that any ranked game out there is perfect. There are obviously flaws in every ranked system, and I think it will take some time for Marvel Rivals to kind of iron it out. But with just a bit of tweaking, the results of a different rank system could certainly be a lot better than what we have right now. So yeah, the main reason why this is happening is because it's just far too easy to rank up, because the game will often give you more points for winning than it takes away for losing, meaning that players, as they rank up, don't really learn how to become a better player. They're not learning from their mistakes because they don't need to. I think the easiest fix for this would be to just increase the minus points for losses. That would be a great start. And another thing Marvel Rivals could do is introduce placement matches. If the game can judge your skill within the first 10 matches and put you in a rank you truly belong in, it'll help to improve the match quality while also stopping smurfs from ruining the experience in the early ranks. And if you're wondering, what does this all mean? Why does it matter? Well, the truth is, Marvel Rivals, whilst it can be competitive at times, it's still a game. And I think one of the fun things in competitive games is learning how to improve over time and getting better. And that's the journey that is fun in competitive games. One of the first games I ever kind of took seriously when it came to competition and competing was Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I played that for thousands of hours, and I felt like the more I played, the further I would improve my own skill, and I would be able to rank up and get higher difficulty enemies to once again improve my skill. There was a clear path that I could take to improve my mechanics, to get better and better. And whenever I hit a roadblock, I could look at myself and try and figure out what the problem is to improve as a player. And I feel like in Marvel Rivals, as a player that's pretty new to hero shooters, like I am also Grandmaster right now, I feel like I don't quite know what to do. The moment I'm playing in Plat and Diamond lobbies, it's so unbelievably easy, and then as soon as it gets to Grandmaster, the most difficult thing I'm facing is just my teammates just constantly arguing and having a go at each other, and it just completely ruins the vibe. The amount of games that I've lost because my teammates are arguing and deciding they're going to go AFK. They're trolling each other because they are basically not happy with each other's picks or how each other are playing. And I know that this was an issue in Overwatch as well, but I feel like in Marvel Rivals specifically, in Grandmaster rank, it's become a very big issue because the majority of the players there believe that they know they're doing the right thing, they believe that they're a good player, and everyone else around them is doing really badly. And that just can't be the case that everyone in the rank is doing the same thing. Not everyone is doing amazingly. It can't happen. I think that there needs to be a bit of a realization from the community here that we're all kind of still learning. If you are not out of Grandmaster yet, then there's probably a reason why. There's something missing in your skill set, and you have to accept that. And I think most players don't yet because, I mean, when you think of Grandmaster, you think that's an amazing rank. I'm great at the game. But actually, no. If you're on Grandmaster, then the truth is that's like being gold or plat in another game, and you still got a lot of improvement to make. And I'm talking to myself here as well. The great thing about Marvel Rivals and the NetEase dev team is that they really do take community feedback into play. I mean, one of the issues that came about was they were going to reset the ranks halfway through the season. Everyone complained and they decided not to. And now looking back in hindsight, I think this issue may not have been as such of a problem if they did reset the ranks. However, I think that the rank system was designed with the opportunity for people to sort of rank up over time, and there was a time limit, a cap put on it to make sure that things didn't get too out of hand. So if they're going to keep this with there only being one rank reset per season, then they're definitely going to sort of need to rework how ranking up works, how placement points work, or placement matches, if they could add those, and how losses work in terms of how many points you lose. And hopefully they'll do that for the next season. They're very responsive to feedback, so I wanted to put in my thoughts, get some stats out there, and kind of open a bit of conversation with the community and see what we can do to fix ranked. And hopefully Season 2 will be in a much better place. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!